The oppressed and forgotten people, the Kurds. Although the origin of the Kurds is still uncertain, they are considered one of the most ancient peoples in the world to have inhabited the region of the Zagros Mountain, Iran, and Mesopotamia. The peoples believed to be the ancestors of the Kurds appeared in West Asia thousands of years ago and founded powerful empires. They were the Elamites, the Gutians, the Kassids, the Mitanni, and the Medes. The Median Empire, founded in 750 BC, was the last of these empires. It controlled vast territories, including countries known today as Turkey, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Iraq, Iran, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. After the fall of the Median Empire, the Kurdistan region came under the rule of the Achaemenid Empire and then the Sassanid Empire for nearly 1,000 years, until the Islamic conquest of the region in the year 639 AD. The Islamic caliphates could not assimilate the Kurds, who launched dozens of revolutions against the successive Islamic governments and established states and emirates at the core of these caliphates. The most important Kurdish emirate, in my opinion, was the state of Zand dynasty, founded in 1750 AD by Karim Khan Zand. Initially, in the 18th century, it ruled southern and central Iran, but soon expanded to include much of the rest of contemporary Iran, as well as Azerbaijan, Bahrain, and parts of Armenia and Iraq. The betrayal of the religious scholar Mullah Idris al-Badlisi in the Battle of Chaldiran in 1514, who played a major role in winning the Kurds to the side of the Ottoman Empire, and the accession of the most of the Kurdish emirates under the control of the Ottoman Empire. Al-Badlisi played a key role in the incorporation of vast territories from Kurdistan into the Ottoman Empire. This was a treacherous stab in the back of the Kurds, as it destroyed the Kurdish dream of forming an independent entity. Another act of treachery suffered by the Kurdish people was the Sykes-Picot Agreement of 1916, when the lands of Kurdistan were divided among 4 countries and the Kurds were not allowed to form an independent entity. Although the Republic of Ma'bad did not last long, it is considered an important historical episode in the history of the Kurdish people, because it was the first real and independent Kurdish state in their modern history. The Kurds have been subjected to many genocides throughout history. During the era of Saddam Hussein, the Iraqi army, led by his cousin known as Chemical Ali, bombed the city of Halabja in Iraqi Kurdistan with chemical weapons, leaving 5,500 dead and 10,000 wounded. During the Anfal genocide campaign conducted in stages between 1986 and 1989 by Saddam's army, 182,000 Kurdish citizens were killed and others, mainly women and children, were buried alive in mass graves. The massacre of Yazidis at the hand of ISIS militants in 2014. During this brutal campaign, 3,000 Yazidis were killed, 5,000 were kidnapped, and 400,000 were displaced to Duhok, Erbil, and Zakho. In addition, 1,500 women were victims of gang rape, of which 1,000 were sold in the market as sex slaves. The struggle of the Iraqi Kurds for more than 70 years through the revolts led by Sheikh Mahmoud Barzinji and Mustafa Barzani, the 1991 uprising, and others resulted in their obtaining autonomy. Since the Kurds are one of the ancient peoples of the Zagros Mountains and the original inhabitants of the region, they embraced ancient religions before the advent of Islam. Religions such as Yazidism, Yersanism, and Zoroastrism are still practiced to this day, although the number of the followers has decreased. This ancient people suffered persecution for centuries by invading powers who tried to deprive them from their culture, language, and land. But thanks to their courage, they have resisted all forms of decadence and have stood tall to this day, showing to the world that the will of a people is stronger than any form of oppression. All they want is security, stability, prosperity, and peace with other nations.